Hey everybody, what's going on? Dr. Jeff Langmaid, the evidence-based chiropractor here, and I am with Dr. Josh Satterley of Clinic Gym Hybrid. That one always trips me up. But we are going to go through 3 things that you can do really right now to improve your practice. Talk a little bit about where we're at before we dive into that.
We are sitting on the balcony of a room down here in beautiful San Diego looking out. If you just look between those bars, you should be able to see the water of Mission Bay, which is about the most perfect place to be right now. But we're at an event called SuccessCon, all about marketing and marketing automation and how to use technology to kind of enhance your relationship with your customers.
Yep.
So in this case, your patients, how you can do that in a way that makes them feel better and increases that relationship.
Love it. And when we break down those 3 things, I mean, one thing you and I were talking about that I think is really important is understanding once somebody gets through their initial acute care, right?
Yeah.
Where are you going with them? What are you doing? And I know that you're big on this, obviously. I'd love for you to elaborate on some thoughts or ideas for how somebody can continue the patient journey, be of service to them, while also being able to run a business successfully.
Yeah. Well, I think a lot of it, I mean, even in this seminar, right, they're talking constantly about, almost every speaker made some mention of the easiest people to get another sale from are people who have already bought from you. I think in the world of chiropractic, we do a great job of getting people feeling better very fast, especially if you're following evidence-based protocols or evidence-informed at least. We're seeing dramatic improvements fast.
Right.
And so as people, you go, oh, okay, I succeeded, quote unquote succeeded, and now you're out of pain.
Right.
But right then, like, what else can you do for this person? Not in a sleazy way, but just to support the work you've already done. So if you're big in functional medicine, maybe you want to get them on certain supplements that will help them maintain their progress over time. I'm trying to think of something else that doesn't just blatantly promote what I'm all about, but
Exercise is a key component. Just dive in, because I think it's a really key component.
So an exercise, like, why not give them the exercises and an opportunity to have the exercises led by somebody who's informed about what went on with them. So they come in for facet pain that we talked about. You don't want a trainer that's going to keep, hey, do these back extensions and stuff, like we don't want to see that repeated extension. If it's somebody with disc pain, you don't want them doing repeated flexion exercises. And having a trainer that's advised of those and why those are such a big deal for that patient provides much better training or fitness to that client. But then also the client is going, this is exactly what I want. My back's been bothering me. You've had patients that my back's been bothering me for 20 years.
Right.
And now it's the first time I've not had back pain and I'm 51. It's like, great. Now we can help do that. Now, why not add that into your practice as something when people, quote unquote, graduate treatment, what do we do with them? And okay, we're going to offer you fitness classes designed around the very condition that you have.
Yep.
And it's better care. They want it. It's easier for you because you don't have to fulfill it. You hire a trainer to do that, and you teach the trainer everything you know.
Right.
And then it's really good revenue that comes in every month. It's just recurring. A membership is actually way better than going out and getting new patients.
Yeah.
So
I think that's a really good point, because when I think about somebody going through, I think about like segmental motion, regional motion, whole body motion. After there's not a chiropractor on planet Earth that doesn't believe movement and activity is good, right? It's physical health, it's staying active.
They're also easier to work on, right? The people that are more active are way easier patients. They respond quicker. They appreciate the care better. They know what good feels like.
Right.
If they're totally sedentary and hundreds of pounds overweight, whatever treatments you want, I doubt it's peeing in the ocean. Like it just doesn't make you feel good as a doctor because you're not making a huge difference.
I could not agree more. And if you want to check out more about Clinic Gym Hybrid, we'll be sure to drop a link down below as well.
Yeah.
And let's go into the number 2. The number 2 big takeaway. So number 1 is decide what you're going to do after you get through the patient through that initial care model, right? I think that's number 1.
I say it's like inflating a balloon and then standing there and letting it go. It's like you did all that work. Like, do something with it.
I think that's a good way to put it. Number 2, and we were talking about, was really emailing and staying in contact with people. Break down what you think are some of the most important aspects of why you should, if you're not as a doc, staying in contact with people. Maybe what a good cadence might feel like or look like. Talk about the importance of it and what you've seen.
It's one of those things. A little is good and a lot is actually better. I think that most patients, when they are in pain, are going out there and they're filling up the information well of why do I have pain, wherever they can get that information. Unfortunately, as we know, that some of the people that provide the information the best or the fastest are the less savvy providers of information that we want. But the patient doesn't know that, right? They're just like, hey, I went to a chiropractor to help me, therefore all chiropractors must be able to help me, and I'm going to look online about facet pain and chiropractic. And maybe they stumble upon a site that's not really beneficial. So how do you counteract that? The only way to do that is send out information. You know, they need to be filled up. You should be providing it. Now, what does that mean? Maybe you're very good about video. We were talking about this, right? I suck at video. Like, it's all right. But if you're good at video, send out a video once a week, twice a week, just about general health information. I like writing. I enjoy it. So I type out emails. But emailing your patient, minor text, yours or video, at least once a week would be the bare minimum. But I think, man, if you could do it 2 or 3 times a week with relevant content, maybe if you're super slick, 1 time a week about their condition. So, hey, what is facet pain all about? And then another one, just general health information. I think the people will be very appreciative. And then when they are at work next to their friend who's going, oh, my back pain is killing me, they often will say, oh, man, I just saw an email come through. Hold on real quick. Langmaid. Oh, there it is. Here's how to call them, right?
I couldn't agree more. I mean, I think about it in a couple of ways. I love your points because I think about it in onboarding. Make sure that you're answering questions, reducing friction, increases compliance, better retention. Then I think about it long term as you're breaking out. Hey, once a week at least, hitting your people 1 time a week with engaging, entertaining, and educational information. Be entertaining, be engaging, be educational 1 time per week is the sweet spot of what we've seen. That's where we pick things up with Chiro emails. If you want to check out more about that, you can at chiroemails.com. But ultimately, get out there. I mean, we use the term patient newsletters. It seems a little old school, but I think you and I drive to the same point, which is a newsletter has an old school connotation. It's okay to have a newsletter once a week, but don't make it all about your office. Make it about the patient. Focus on what are things that they're going through in their life. How can you educate them? How can you entertain them? How can you help them become engaged with your other properties, your Facebook page, whatever the case may be, and your no trust and like factor is going to skyrocket.
Yeah, I think going back to that onboarding sequence, like if there was one set of emails I would say you should start with, it is when somebody has an appointment at your office, how do they find you? And I mean, having a video of like, this is what our office looks like. Here's what it looks like from the outside. Here's where you pull in. Love that. And I say, imagine for a second you're trying to get your oldest living relative to come to your office. How would you explain that to him? You wouldn't just be like, here's a map to here's a Google link, Google Maps link, right? You'd probably have an email with, here's the actual map and an arrow. That's our building right there. Here's Wendy's, things like that, where it's just so ridiculously easy for them to find you. But if you're like on a second story or 5th story or something, why don't you show what do you call that when you like walk and talk? Like have a video of you walking and going, here's what it would look like, and then we get to the elevator.
Point of view.
Yeah, hit this button and go up to this floor. It sounds ridiculous, but remember, if that person made an appointment with you, the last 3 days have probably been, a lot of their brain power has been committed to the pain that they're dealing with, hence why they called you. Make it as easy as possible so that no matter what, even if there's a language barrier, an age barrier, a tech barrier, that you're doing your best to overcome that. And it's not 1 email. It's probably 3 or 4, And if you have a crappy location, joke about it. You're saying entertain, like, hey, we're in 2 hard to find locations. We're on the backside of this building you'll never find over on North 56th, and we're on a crappy location on the 3rd floor at West Palm, But whatever it is, make them, and they'll connect with that, and then they won't be frustrated about not finding your place. I mean, you had this in practice, right? Like, I'm in your parking lot. I don't understand where I am. Oh, there's no sign. And it's like, okay, I can see your car outside. It's okay.
Set expectations, reduce friction, and email can help that process every step of the way. And going 1 step further, the patient makes it into the practice. Kind of that third big takeaway that I wanted to touch on was, they either made it into the practice or they no-showed. And you're saying, gosh, what am I going to do? Having a text follow-up, I think, is something that we've seen can be super beneficial in all service industries. But talk about what a text follow-up might be and what does that mean?
A text follow-up is a follow-up from a text message. I mean, it's crazy, but a lot of EMRs now offer text messaging as part of it. And so the person doesn't show up to their, as a business owner, number one, you want to find out why aren't people showing up? Like, what was the friction point? So maybe send out a text with just an open-ended question. Don't say, do you want to reschedule? That's a yes or no. But, hey, Mr. Langmaid, we missed you at 10 o'clock. We're really hoping to see you. Is there, did you have difficulty finding our place? Right?
First, it's Dr. Langmaid.
At least I got you to respond, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
But the open-ended question, I want you to go deeper on that, because asking the open-ended question is really the key point there.
Right.
So, I know it sounds super simplistic, but I just want to break it down, make it super easy for everybody watching. Open-ended versus close-ended. Give one more example.
Yeah. Dr. Langmaid, bold underline. We missed you at 10 o'clock. What happened? All you're trying to do is engage that person in conversation. Once again, it goes back. They are in pain. They want some help. They took the time to schedule with you. I can't imagine why they didn't. Maybe it's a cost thing, whatever. But if you start asking those open-ended questions and allow them to answer, hopefully they'll give you back some information that's very useful and say, oh, you were too expensive. Okay, great. So now we got to train our front desk staff maybe to talk about finances on the front end. I couldn't find you.
Right.
Okay, so now this person drove through the entire parking lot and couldn't find you. We really need to make sure that we provide great directions and maybe invest in signage outside.
Yep.
I thought that was tomorrow. Okay, is our staff being very clear, or am I being very clear about when the appointment time is? Right. My pain went away. Okay, maybe we need a procedure for checking in day of and saying, how are you feeling? Are you still planning on coming in? All those things will allow you to be a better business owner, but just you got to ask those open-ended questions.
Yep.
You know.
I think that's super important. I'm going to break down all three again because we're going to get back to some fun here.
Yeah.
Number one is, again, 3 things that you can do right now to really improve your practice. Number one, think about the patient journey after that initial care model. Clinic Gym hybrid solution is a great opportunity to explore that if exercise and movement is your thing as a chiropractor.
It's really the best opportunity, and all the other ones Jeff are going to talk about are lower.
Fair enough, and
Yeah.
we'll drop a link to that down below. Second component is reach out through email, stay consistent, onboarding and long-term
Yeah.
trip. Chiro emails is a great solution for that, or you can write your own, go for it. But make sure you're doing it is the key thing. And number 3 is follow up via text. Use text, it's high engagement, and specifically as Josh said, and I think he made such a great point with it, open-ended questions, not yes or no. Get engagement, get people talking to you and with you.
Right.
You'll learn a lot about your customer, your patient, your client, and you'll also be able to improve your own internal systems. And also,
Yeah.
for everybody watching, drop your big takeaway. So that's three that can make a huge impact in your practice.
Yeah.
I know that they can, but I'd love to know, what do you want to take action on? Drop it as a comment down below.
And that was an open-ended question, by the way.
Yeah. And if you have any other questions regarding that, leave them down below as well. Josh and I will keep an eye out.
Yeah.
We're happy to answer them, but hope you guys have a great day. And thanks, Josh, for taking some time, man.
All right, we're gonna try and survive this beautiful San Diego weather.
Somebody's
I think
gonna
we
do
can-
Take it easy. Hey, what's going on? If you loved that video, be sure to subscribe to this channel. The Evidence-Based Chiropractor puts out videos all the time at the intersection of marketing and research, showing you how to grow your practice while also growing your knowledge base. So if you liked it, be sure to comment down below or hit subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.